Welcome to Touching Bases Podcast. I'm your host, Chad C. Sub to YouTube. Follow on Spotify if you guys will listen to your podcast instead of watch your podcast. Get exclusive previews on each episode through Instagram and checking out our story. Joining me today, the infamous, the amazing Colby Patnode, co-host of Locked On Mariners, Control the Zone. Colby, our M's won the division series against the best pitcher in baseball. Did it for the fourth time this year, but not without completely depleting every bit of energy our fans have in their entire body and bones, especially for people like me that were there struggling to stay standing the entire time when the entire floor is made out of concrete. And I didn't bring my Hokas that day because we went 15 innings before finally you get the bases loaded and Polanco was able to poke one to right field. Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, it was emotionally and physically taxing day for a lot of people, not just the players on the field. But yeah, it's nice to play one of these long postseason games and be on the right end of one. So, you know, as somebody who was at the 18-inning game, I understand your pain, but it's nice to win this one and to get back to a place that the Mariners haven't been in a quarter of a century. So yeah,
I was 7 the last time we did this.
So
7.
Yeah, it really is a wild time right now to be a Mariners fan, and it's been nice. You know, obviously they can't get there without some kind of massive struggle because why would they? Never make things easy on your fan base. That's the Mariners motto. But they did it, and tomorrow, about 24 hours as we're recording this right now, they'll be 4 wins away from going to the World Series, which they've never done before. So it's pretty sweet, but yeah, it's pretty tiring. Like I was exhausted last night. Just watching the game on my TV, not even at the stadium. So yeah, it was just an awesome moment, but it was taxing, man. Taxing is a good word for it because after the excitement wears off, you crash out pretty quick.
Well, I mean, 2 things. One, I think it was probably harder for you, and I think everybody watching on TV because you're laying down your couch, your bed, or something like that. It's 11:30 at night, and nothing's happening. It's not like it's like, oh my, you're still intensively looking, but you keep getting let down, and you just want to give up. And so it's hard to stick with it. Where I'm inside of a stadium that's
Right.
115 decibels blaring at you, and there's cannons going off right behind my head because
Nice.
that just happens to be where they put the cannons for all the. They didn't have fireworks; they just had cannons, so it was just loud as shit. So I can imagine it's a little bit more taxing, but yeah, man, it's 24 years since we like I. It kind of puts. It's weird to think about it. It puts it in perspective, like how loyal this fan base is, because I mean, there's probably a bunch of fan bases out there that probably see their team as special, and like their friends around them rally together, and like, oh, we must have the best fan base. The Yankees, right? Like they would probably say that. Red Sox, they are diehard. I'm not going to take anything away from Red Sox fans. I completely see it. Guardians fans, definitely. I mean,
Yeah.
but like those teams have had opportunity and have had this year after year, or maybe every 3 years, like these major opportunities to make it to the playoffs, to where it's like, all right, like this is our year, we're going to push it, versus the M's, man. It's like, can we make a wild card?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like that's the question. I mean, it was getting to a point where it's like, all right, how much different are we from the Angels or Rockies?
Yeah. I mean, it's been tough, man. It absolutely has. And yeah, like Cleveland, at least they were like a World Series contender every single year in the 90s. And they'd obviously won a couple division titles. They've been in the playoffs, I think, 4 of the last 5 years. And that's with them,
Yeah.
trading away some major stars, and they still find a way to get back. And Seattle had the best pitcher on the planet for about a decade, and they never really even sniffed the playoffs. So it's just one of those things where yeah, every fan feels like their team is cursed and they're snake bitten, and like even Yankee fans out there will tell you like, oh, we have it so hard, and it just shut up. Like, no, you don't. But every fan base feels that way, I'm sure. But Seattle is a bit unique. Like every fan base has its own unique situation. But yeah, it's been 24 long years to get back here, and for all we know, it might take another 24 to get back if they don't take advantage of this one. So, but yeah, it was great to get there, and also I think to win the division on top of that is something that again also hasn't been done in 24 years. Lots of things that haven't been done in 24
Mhm.
years this year. So it's we've gotten close a couple times, quite a few times actually. We broke through and made the playoffs once in the last 24 years, but this one feels different because I don't know. It feels like the 22 team. I don't want to take anything away from those guys, but it just never really felt like they were better than like the Mariners might be the best team in the American League this year. The 22 team, it's like the Mariners might have been the second best team in the American League that year,
Mhm.
but the best team was in your division and they knocked you out of the playoffs and they've been making your life miserable for a decade now, and obviously you slay the Astros to get into the playoffs and all that, and now you have to beat the best pitcher in the world or one of them at least twice in a 5-day span after beating them twice in the regular season, and you accomplish that, and you win 3 games in the series and 2 of them are against Scooble because the Mariners can't do anything normal.
We
Yeah,
pick the hardest route every
every
damn
time,
time.
every time.
Every time. I mean, this is the longest do or die playoff game ever
Hmm.
to happen. And there's 15 pitchers used between both teams. 37 strikeouts, by the way, which is not saying anything good about the Mariners or the Tigers because that is a lot of
Yeah,
strikeouts for like one game. That's insane.
yeah,
I mean, and yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't pay much attention to the 22 Mariners. Like I really was not. I wasn't as fully invested as I wish I was back in the day. I fell away from them probably in like 2018, 2019. I would say 2019 because really COVID kind of killed it for me. Um, just that 2020 season, I was just like, as baseball is going a weird route, I don't know. Well, I'll pick it back up later.
yeah,
And 22 was like, oh, okay, we got some like maybe a good team coming for us,
hmm,
but that was short sighted. But granted, I am seeing a little deja vu right now because who are we playing? And
yeah,
last time it was pretty high hopes there.
yeah,
But I mean, before I even get to the Blue Jays, we'll do like a whole preview of that. But I just I at least want to say because this is just not a Mariners podcast. Like I want to tip my hat to the Tigers.
yeah,
Like you'll never hear me talk shit about the Tigers. They are they are a legitimate team that has a small payroll that is not like lucky. Like they grinded this whole season and found themselves in a shit position at the very end of the season to where they just barely made it. And some people say like, oh, they didn't deserve it. Like look how bad they were at the end. They earned it.
yeah,
They earned it at the beginning, so they could fail at the end.
hmm,
I mean, Scooble went out there for the second time in this season and struck out 13 batters in under 100 pitches.
yeah,
Utter dominance, like insane. And I was there. That crowd was, including myself, I'll take some credit, was fucking loud. It was insane. And he pushed right through.
yeah.
He
He's
pushed
really
right
good.
through. And Tigers fans, you all need to chill the fuck out on Twitter because he was on 3 days rest. 3 days rest. AJ Minter is not going to ruin his arm. Where if you win, you're going to need him to at least get 4 days rest
Yeah,
versus Toronto. Why would you risk hurting him if it means you're winning just to have basically no other arm in the playoffs? What, Casey Mize is going to be your ace? Nah,
yeah,
nah. Don't play that game. Don't be stupid. It was smart for him to take him out because you had a solid bullpen. You just really cannot be mad. He shoved. He was excellent. If the Mariners want to consider signing him at the end of 2026 and replace him with Luis Castillo, I'm not saying they will, but if they did, I wouldn't be mad. Give him $30 million for 10 years.
Give him 40,
I'm in.
Yeah, who cares?
I'm in. I will pay the season tickets for that. And all 82 of my games, I'll sell the rest. I'm just going to go to the ones that he pitches in.
There you go.
And then, and I have to give another tip to Kerry Bonds Carpenter, because dude, every time you got up to the 4 for 5 with a home run. He's our kryptonite. He is the Randy Arozarena of 2021. He is a playoff MVP at this point in my book.
Yeah,
I know they didn't make it, but he was killing it, and that includes the wild card game that against the Guardians that knocked them out. He silenced the crowd in that stadium yesterday. He hit that home run, and this might not sound like a lot, but for a solid inning, nothing.
Yeah,
it was a powerful effect on the city of Seattle when he hit that home run, and he has hats off to him. Tiger fans, give him love. He is your special king. I just wanted to get that off my chest.
Yeah, he's quite good. Skubal's, like I said, he's the best, and the fact that the Tigers haven't already locked him up to a long-term extension is insane.
It sounds like a Mariner thing.
I mean, if they want to trade him this winter, I'll pay a nice little price for him as a rental, even. Like I'll take that. So, yeah, and also, I know he didn't have a great series, but Riley Green is a damn good player. Like, he's very good, and he didn't have a huge impact in this series, but yeah, that guy, he's going to be very good for a long time. So, yeah, the Tigers, they have quite a bit to look forward to. If they can lock down Skubal to a long-term deal, they should be back and consistent competitor for the next half decade or so at least. So, yeah, hard-fought series. They played very well, and they could have easily folded up shop after their collapse and just lost 2 of the 3 in Cleveland, the team that caught them and ran them down, but they didn't, and they took Seattle to the brink, and it took, I don't want to say luck, but you had Skubal go out there in Game 5, and he shoved, and you had a 2-1 lead with 9 outs to go, and unfortunately, Leo Rivas was just too much to overcome, and so that's baseball. That's how it works sometimes. But yeah, the Tigers, nothing to hang their heads about. Like, they were very good. And they played very well, and one or two bounces go their way, and they're in the ALCS right now. So yeah, it was a very good series from just a pure baseball perspective. 3 really close games, and then each team kind of had a blowout win of the other in the middle there. But yeah, the priority for Detroit this winter has got to be getting Skubal signed long term, because that guy he's the difference maker. Like, you're going to win when he's on the mound, unless apparently he's facing the 2025 Seattle Mariners.
I mean, I'm going to say a lot of it was luck on our side. Yeah. If my voice cracks, guys, it's because I screamed my lungs out. If you guys didn't see me on Twitter, I recorded me just losing my mind. I didn't cry like Ty, but I was screaming. I was having fun. Yeah. I wanted to cry, but I don't have emotions like that, I guess.
Probably emotionally drained after 15. Like, maybe if it had happened in the 10th, maybe, but by the 15th, you're just like,
yeah. It was. I wanted to cry because my knees hurt. Yeah. That was about it. But no, it was amazing. It was like, it started to hit me probably after when they started putting on the black shirts.
Yeah.
Which, side note, I wasn't even bringing this up, but tell me why the Mariners ALCS shirts and hats are the only ones that are sold out on MLB Shop. The Dodgers, who is it? The Blue Jays,
yeah,
still available, every size.
I mean, I guess
fan base, man.
I guess if you're the Dodgers, it's like, well, I've already got 25 40. ALCS, hats and whatnot from just the last 10 years. But
Blue Jays.
Yeah.
It's a whole country, man.
Yeah,
Buy that shit.
yeah.
Come on, support MLB. They're about to go into a lockout. You got to give them more money. I don't know. You mentioned Scooble with retention, so I want to bring this up because it's an interesting question that is jumping ahead. I know we're not like in the off season yet, but um, it's something for I think people should keep an eye on because Josh Naylor is done at the end of the season. Well, his contract is.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Does this or the next series or the World Series affect his retention at all, do you think? Or
Mm,
is it all going to be about the money? Because I don't know if he's just putting on a good show or if he really does absolutely love it here and he's only been here for a few months.
yeah. It's always tough to say. I think usually I will say just it's the money, like the money, and you can't blame players for chasing the money because they have a very limited window to make their money, and they not only making money for themselves, but they're trying to set their families up for generational wealth and whatnot. So it's hard to blame them when they go for the money. I will say, the Seattle thing is interesting. It's hard to get players up here, but typically once they get up here, they do have a tendency to want to stick around. Luis Castillo signed his extension after being here for 6 weeks. Like, now
Mm-hmm.
the Mariners gave him market value, so it's not like he took a discount to stay here. And I don't think Naylor will do that either. But I do think that is if it's about like does he like the city, he seems to. Is the ballpark going to be a negative in his eyes? No, he hits here. He wasn't joking when he says he likes to hit here and he sees the ball well, which is not something a lot of people will say and then back up
Little
statistically.
jab at Teoscar.
Yeah, yeah. So he's got a little bit of attitude too. You don't have any first baseman in the system coming up. That's any kind of a threat to him right now, and I think the market's going to be pretty reasonable on him because he's a first baseman who doesn't hit 35 home runs. He can if he needed to, if he wanted to.
He could steal 30 bags though.
Yeah, but people are going to be like, well, he's just slow. Like blah blah. How valuable is that? Like so yeah, I think he probably my guess would be is that he's going to get somewhere in the $15 to $20 million a year range. My guess is that he's probably going to get 4 years. So I think you're probably looking at roughly the Christian Walker contract that Houston gave him, which I think that was 3 and like 63, if I'm not mistaken.
Something like that, yeah.
So about 20 million a year, 21 million a year. And I think if Seattle comes, to him with something in that range, I think he'll probably sign here. And I talked about this in the summer when there were rumors that the Mariners might be interested in him. This is the Jerry Dipoto guy that he would want to try and go get in the offseason anyways, whether they traded for him or not. And now that you have him and you've gotten to see him hit in this ballpark, you've gotten to see how he interacts with your clubhouse, you've gotten to see the fan base's reaction to him. I think it just all makes so much sense and too much sense to let him go. And not to mention, he's had some really big hits in his time with Seattle. I don't know how you justify letting that guy walk again, especially because you do not have an answer to first base if you let him go.
Well,
So,
that's what makes me wonder if we're foresight. If this was a foreshadowing it,
mm-hmm.
because like you mentioned, like Tyler Locklear, he's in Arizona now. We
Yeah,
don't have another first baseman in the pipeline, like you mentioned. That like what is it? I don't see Jerry not having a plan.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
mm-hmm.
there must have been some sort of insight of like we're gonna bring him here, and if things are going well, then he's going to be our number one versus going out and trying to sign somebody.
Yeah,
Um, and that's what I'm more conscious of. Is like it's not a matter of like will he take a discount? I don't know. But market value, will he take market value?
yes,
I don't know because he's pushing himself so hard
mm-hmm.
right now. 30 stolen bases. He had 25 in the
Yeah,
last 4 years.
yeah,
Like that's insane to me.
mm-hmm.
So what is Stanton? What is
Yeah,
he gonna do? Is he gonna be like, all right, like he generates money for me. Let's keep him here. Like we went to the playoffs. We were able to give him something that the Guardians couldn't, at least this season.
right.
And it could be a big change. So it's like I know there's multiple factors here, but from both sides, it seems like it would be a win-win
I think so.
if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, so and I'm rooting. I cannot wait. I cannot find a single jersey, like a authentic jersey to buy, because apparently twos are out of stock or something like that. That's what I was told. So I can't even get his jersey. So I ended up getting a Simply Seattle shirt with just like his headband and
Nails.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
I got yeah, it was
Yeah.
amazing. Love it. Like I am a huge Josh Naylor fan, and I'm so
Hmm.
happy we got him over Christian Walker at this point.
Yeah.
But someone I'm not too high on right now. Uh, when is Gino going to wake up?
Yeah. He doesn't hit at T-Mobile, and even when he was here the first time around, he was better at T-Mobile than he's been this year, but he wasn't ever really good at T-Mobile. And that's a 34, 35-year-old third baseman whose defense is declining slowly. And I don't think that there's really any argument to be made that you should be prioritizing Gino over Naylor or even Jorge Polanco at this stage. So it does feel like the Mariners are going to have to pick one of those guys, unless Stanton really wants to spend money, which he should. But
Especially now.
yeah, I mean, you just got at minimum 5 home playoff games to all that extra revenue as well. You don't have to cover the root losses or anything like that anymore. So we'll see if he does it. But like to me, Gino is easily the odd man out. If I could sign 2 of these guys, I would sign Polanco and Naylor over Gino.
Oh, all day,
Yeah.
all day. Because
Mhm.
who are you going to get for second base that's available next season?
Yeah. I mean, like, my hunch is that they would like Cole Young to be the second baseman, but A, you don't want to bank on that. You want him to earn it. And
Mm-hmm.
B, like, you could also still have the DH available that you can use Polo for. And so I don't know if they're going to be able to sign all these guys, but I really don't have any interest in bringing Gino back. I mean, if he's only going to make like $8 to $10 million, fine, whatever. That's chump change. I
He
think
can't though. He
no.
can't just offer that.
I
He had too many home runs. Not with us,
right.
but
That's what
with
I'm
someone else.
right. Nobody's because he hit 49 home runs and because he hit very well in Arizona and he hits very well on the road still. Like somebody's going to look at that and be like, well, I'll give him at least 1 in 20, and Seattle has no business offering that. And it's not a great answer. I don't love the idea of Ben Williamson being my everyday third baseman to start next year, but Gino, who cannot hit at your home ballpark for 20 million a year, and that's if you're lucky and you only need to sign him for 1 year, versus Williamson making the league minimum, who's an elite defensive third baseman. I'd rather do that and spend the money I would spend on Gino to just keep Polo. So, I love Gino. He's a great dude. He's certainly had big moments for Seattle. I'm glad they made the trade. I would make it 100 times out of 100 again, even knowing what I know now. But at the end of the day, is he your best option to be, the 2026 third baseman? Do you want to spend most of, if not all of your offseason money to bring back Gino? You shouldn't. And again, I love the guy and he's going to be a fan favorite forever. I'm not interested in bringing him back in the slightest.
Yeah, not unless he can pump it back up. I mean, and
Yeah.
I know our opinions could change real quick because
Yeah.
I mean
Look, if
his
he hits the walk-off home
yeah
run in game 6 to send the Mariners to the World Series, our opinions are going to change pretty quick. But
yeah, but then we're gonna have to objectively look at it like how
yeah,
much is that worth for that
exactly.
one hit?
Yeah.
Because he hasn't jack shit
No.
like this whole playoff run. Like he
Mm-hmm.
has one home run and he's batting like what 160.
If that, yeah.
Granted, the whole team is
Sure.
a bit bleak right now,
Yeah, I mean,
but
he had like what 8 at bats against Scooble, so but
and and here's the thing. That's where I'm wondering. Game 6, sends us to the World Series. So Gino Suarez has a batting average of 276 with 21 hits, 4 home runs, 17 RBIs, 13 runs against the Blue Jays in the last 20 games that they've played
mm-hmm.
against the Blue Jays. This might be the chance because the first 2 games are in Toronto that we have liftoff. We have our 2022 version of Carlos Santana.
Yeah.
Able to actually hit balls, get on base, like have himself a week, have himself a series. Because it's been, I don't know. It's like when it's weird with baseball works. It's like when you are due, they explode.
Yeah, especially guys like Gino who swing and miss a lot, and that's part of their game. Like they
Yeah.
have a week where they make a ton of contact and the ball just explodes off their bat, and they can 7 games, they could hit 5, 6 home runs and, a couple doubles, and you're like, whoa. And it really does feel like the Mariners, like Gino's the obvious candidate here, but Randy
Mhm.
Rosarena was not great in this last series. If you could
No.
get anywhere close to playoff Randy before this last series, like 2020 Randy, which is probably asking way too much of anybody, but even like
Mhm.
2021 Randy Rosarena in the playoffs, if you could get that guy for a week, like you're the deepest and best lineup in baseball, and I don't think it's particularly close. So there are a couple,
Randy needs to chill out,
yeah,
like at the plate,
he
and
swings
then
very hard.
he needs to try and do something in the field.
Yeah.
His lackadaisical defense right now
Mm-hmm.
is like, I was screaming at him. I was like, fucking run.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like ideally Randy would be your DH next year. Like that's it. He's not good out there
Yeah.
defensively.
No. No.
You certainly like what he does with the bat, and obviously he steals bases as well. And again, seems like a good dude. Clubhouse really seems to like him. Fan base has embraced him. He's a good
Mhm.
player. You want him. It's just like, oh man, he's tragically bad out in left field, and sometimes it just comes off as lazy and like
It's exactly how it looks,
yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah, and I don't think it is. I think he is just that bad, but like it just that's how it looks. And like sometimes there's like a ball down in the corner that he'll jog for, and you're just like, that's a double either way, whether he sprints or not. But it doesn't look good when you bundle it in with
Yeah.
like the lazy routes on to cut off balls in the gap that maybe he can hold him to a single on, and he just kind of jogs
He
up.
goes a straight shot and it
Yeah, he
goes
doesn't
right
take a good
over him.
angle.
You're like,
Yeah, he did that a couple times in this series, so
yes,
it's
he
just
did.
it feels like if the Mariners can get Randy or Gino to have a good week, like
Mm.
that they could do real damage and actually win this World Series, even if they're underdogs against the Blue Jays and either the Dodgers or the Brewers or the Cubs, whoever ends up winning the National League. So if you get both of them going at the same time, you might win 8 in a row and just clinch this thing up in 10 days. Like it really is. Those guys can carry the mail for you for quite a while, and they just didn't really show up in this last series.
Honestly, here's the thing. So if Geno's, and these are all these I checked the last 20 games against the Blue Jays. So this goes all the way back to like 2019, I think, or something like that. So this is a long time. But this is also playing against the Blue Jays in that organization, and a lot of their coaching hasn't changed much. So as far as their approach, it's relatively the same. Granted, of course, the players are different. So I
Yeah.
have caveats on here, but Geno, last 20 games, hitting 276 against the Blue Jays. Give me that.
Mm-hmm.
Cal Raleigh batting 319 with 9 home
Yeah.
runs, 19 RBIs in the last 20 games. Give me 319. I just hit a third of every at bat. Give me that. Uh, Josh Naylor, who hasn't been here for very long, hasn't been able to show us anything against the Blue Jays. He's batting 314 against the Blue Jays, and that is at least in the last 12 games because he hasn't played against them more
Yeah.
than that. That's pretty much his entire career. Randy, I'm going to shit on this part. He's not good against the Blue Jays either. Like, I don't know how hopeful we can get. He's batting 189.
Yeah.
He has 23 hits and a home run. Um, and Julio also, who needs to spark up. It's not looking good for him either. 231, okay, okay. If it's a clutch moment,
Yeah. Maybe hits with a little bit of power. You could live with that if there's some
yeah,
power and some timely hitting. Sure.
he has not hit a home run against the
Yeah.
Blue Jays. That's the thing. So those are just kind of our main guys. I just want to throw
Mhm.
there 3 out of the 2 or 3 out of the 5. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Um, 2 of them, I'm hoping that they wake up. I really do, and I am confident in this series for the Mariners because it does look good. I mean, we have played them 6 times this year. We played them um, and lost. So we won 2 and we lost 4.
Mm-hmm.
So there's my negativity up front. So you can be like, well, why are you confident? Okay, we're batting 221 and an OPS of 663. Not good, right? That's this year. Um, Every one of these games, though, were before the trade deadline.
Yeah.
And I need people listening to this to understand that. This was before we had Naylor and Suarez. And I know we just kind of shit on Suarez, but obviously he gets good in Toronto. But the lineup was Julio, Randy, Polo, and Cal. Everybody else is gone or on the bench.
Yeah.
Every single one. Tellez in Texas. In fact, all of them are in Texas. I don't get it. Tellez in Texas. Mastrobone, Tacoma. Demo, Texas. Williamson, Tacoma. Tavares, DFA. I don't think he got picked up by anybody.
Nope.
Rayleigh, bench. So he's the only one that's still here, still not doing great. Logan Evans, Tacoma.
Yeah.
Solano, Texas. And look how great Texas did after picking up our scraps. And if I remember right, George Kirby was still injured, and Bryce Miller was like hurt, but he was pushing through it. They were kind of iffy.
I think one series you were one series you didn't have Logan, and in another series you didn't have Kirby, and I think in one of those two series you also didn't have Bryce. Like, the team's completely different. I mean, we didn't even talk about, like, Dom Canzone returned and, was one of your best hitters down the stretch, and Polo got hot again after he struggled in May and June. And the lineup just got deeper. And
and it's a completely different team that the Blue Jays are going up against. And that's where people are like, oh, like, how the casual fan, I wouldn't say casual, I would say the deep fans that don't really do the research, because there's a lot of those guys. And it's not just like Toronto, it's also like a lot of Yankee fans are coming at me lately. Like, for example, they made a post today, Cole is king, very popular Yankee Twitter guy, made a post. He's like, Cal couldn't do this, and has a video of Aaron Judge hitting a home run against Tarek Skubal. Cool. You know what my reply was? Nothing. It was just a video of Cal hitting a home run off of Tarek Skubal. So it's like, do your research a little bit deeper than just say shit. So there is some positivity if you're a Mariners fan. If you're a Blue Jays fan, you should be worried. But don't get it wrong. We're concerned too. You have a good team.
Yeah.
Blue Jays are good.
Yep.
There's a reason they're there. They're number one for a reason. But is it good enough against our pitching?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, we do have better pitching than the Yankees. And I guess, we'll see how healthy it is. Brian Wu apparently going to be on the roster, but they don't think he'll be available until later in the series, whatever that means. But yeah, I mean, like, Toronto does a lot of things well. They make a lot of contact. They don't strike out really. And Seattle's defense isn't great. So that is a concern. And, they have a couple. Savage has been great. He's still a rookie though.
I'm worried about him.
Yeah.
If he can repeat what he did.
Yeah. Gossman has kind of had a rebound back this year, and he's been very good. George Springer has, risen from the ashes, and he looks like prime George Springer out of nowhere. So, like, look, and obviously Vladdy is Vladdy, and now he's in the playoffs. He's gone nuclear. So, like, this is, by the way, the Blue Jays play incredible defense as well. So you're going to have to earn all your hits. You're going to have to earn all your runs. So even if they don't have, world-class pitching, they still have pretty good pitching and elite defense. And, oh, by the way, in the playoffs now, they're starting to hit home runs, which was kind of one of the negatives. Like, you kind of have to hit home runs to win in the postseason. The Blue Jays didn't hit a ton of them. Well, now they're hitting tanks. Toronto's really good. I really do feel like we'll see who wins tonight between the Cubs and the Brewers. I don't know. Last I saw, the score was 1-0 Milwaukee. But make no mistake.
I haven't had it pulled up yet. But
make no mistake. Seattle and Toronto, those are the two best teams in the American League. Like, they deserve to be here. This isn't a fluky thing. Like, those are the two best teams in the American League. And the Dodgers and the Brewers, they deserve to be in the NLCS if they get there. The Cubs are also, pretty good as well. So, like, the Blue Jays didn't luck their way into being the number one seed and, crushing the Yankees and all that. That wasn't luck. That was skill. That was talent. They played really good ball for most of this year, but the Mariners also played really good ball, especially in September. There were some spots in the middle of the year where they played terrible baseball. But,
a little after the trade deadline
Yeah.
or not trade deadline. It was a All-Star break, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got a little bit of run there, and then they had 2 bad road trips in August that really knocked them out of contention to be the number 1 seed. But they were fantastic in September. They found ways to win. They beat Scuba a couple times. Like this is going to be a really good series. I think it can go either way. Blue Jay fans, they probably should be feeling confident. Seattle just played 15 innings. They're starting Bryce Miller on short rest in game 1, but it's a 7-game series, and anything can happen in this series. And there are things the Mariners do well that the Blue Jays are going to have to contend with. There's things that the Blue Jays do very well that the Mariners are going to have to figure it out. So I expect this to be a really good series. I think it's probably going to go 6-7 games. I think pretty much every game is going to be relatively close. One swing of the bat can change the outcome of the game, and it's going to be a hard fought, battle to get to the World Series. And cool. You want to sign up for another 15-inning game? Because I feel like you're probably going to get one at some point.
Game 7.
Yeah.
Game 7, 15. Yeah, just know it. That's exactly what I was thinking. It's
Mariners don't take the shortcut. They don't take the easy way. So
ever. And I feel so bad for Cal. Like he's earning his money.
Yeah.
He really is. Like my legs were toast after yesterday, and I do leg day a lot. He
every night is leg day for Cal.
Yeah, and what inning was that he threw out? Was it McKinstry or no? It was Cole Keith.
Cole Keith, yeah.
Yeah, like perfect dime, and you're on like 2% energy. Yeah. Just it's wild. I don't know. I guess my only thing is like I am a little bit worried about the. I would say be worried about the starting pitching of the Blue Jays. I know there's like 3 names that are really the ones that stand out the most, but their bullpen. I haven't heard a lot about it. I feel like it's yeah, that's the thing. It's like I thought it was good, but
there's names.
Against the Yankees, it didn't seem that like they did well, but the Yankees were striking out more than we were, which is that's wild.
Yeah, I mean they got a couple good arms, but like their closer Hoffman has just been really hit or miss this year. Ty's up there in Toronto, so he's got a pretty good pulse, finger on the pulse of the Blue Jays and their fan base and all that. And the bullpen is what scares them. They really don't trust their bullpen all that much. And Seattle, for the most part, you trust Brash and Munoz and Bizzardo, and for most of the year you trusted Spire. After the last couple outings, we'll see.
Regular season, I trusted him.
Sure, I mean he was really good in game 1 and 2 as well. So it's like it just.
But he's been dealt, man.
Yeah,
like give him a day off.
Him and Bizzardo both have been ridden pretty hard down the stretch, and in the Bizzardo pitched in all 5 games of the ALDS. Like that's nuts.
And he's been amazing,
and the fact that he only had 1 blow up after the Tigers saw him every single day for a week. Is pretty impressive, and so we'll see new eyes. The Tigers or the Blue Jays haven't seen Bizzardo or Spire or Brash or Munoz, and I think they last played in June, so it's been 4 months or so since they've seen these guys, and we'll see what happens.
And Brash is shaking off the rust a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So again, we'll see how it goes. I really don't have a good feel for this series. I think it's going to be a long series. I think it's going to be back and forth. I think 6 or 7 games is what I would expect, and I don't have a good feel for how those 6 or 7 games go. Like there is no outcome that could surprise me, unless one team just like won by 10 runs every single night. Like there is no outcome that would surprise me.
And that's the biggest issue. It's hit them where they're not, but that's the defense. Like that's what Blue Jays pride themselves. Varsho, best defending outfielder in baseball, hands down. Yep. Sorry, Julio. Varsho is so good. He's insanely good out there, and he's starting to hit. Yeah, like a lot. They traded for Andres Jimenez because of his glove. He can't hit right now, but he is amazing at second base. Good luck, lefties, and we got some lefties because we wanted to curate towards T-Mobile Park, which is fine. But good luck finding the holes. Like it is going to be rough. Granted, let's bring it back towards the Mariners side of things. Who was starting last time we played him? Luke Raley, 202 average, 630 OPS. Yeah. Rowdy Tellez, 208 average, 682 OPS. Solano, 252 batting average, probably like what 16 at bats total,
Yeah, something like that.
639 OPS. Leody
Yep.
Taveras, 179 batting average, 470 OPS. Demo,
Yeah.
193 average, 622 OPS. This is one, two, three, four, five guys in your lineup that you were facing them, and you won 2 games still.
Yeah. Yep.
So
I think it's going to be, like I said, I think it's going to be a exhausting series for us as fans because I think these are all going to be really close games. I think these are the two best teams in the American League. I don't think it's particularly close. I think these are the two best, and I think the Yankees were a distant third. Even though the Yankees ended up winning more games than the Mariners, I still think the Mariners are just better than the Yankees. They're more talented than they are, and I think these are the two best teams in the American League, certainly. So the best team is we're going to find out who's the best, and they will have earned their way to the World Series, no question about it.
I gotta say, I think the Tigers are number 3.
Okay. I mean, with
I
Skubal
I
on the
just
mound, they might be one or two. So like,
like because the Yankees, like even Max Fried, like even he had like a 6 something ERA in the playoffs.
yeah,
And like I know the names are big with the Yankees and they spent a lot of money,
mm-hmm.
but like Javi Baez came back. Like, he was batting 3
Yeah, he
something
does that in the
this
playoffs.
series.
Yeah,
He was amazing.
yeah,
You know, Riley Green woke up.
mm-hmm.
They're like they had a solid lineup and they weren't defensively messing up.
No.
Like they were solid. Yankees were booting balls left and right. Aaron Judge, New York's MVP, let one go right between his legs off the wall.
Yeah. The
Jazz Chisholm kicked one.
Yeah, the Yankees are a terrible fundamental team. We saw it last year in the World Series, and then we saw it again all year. Like, yeah, they can hit home runs, and they've got some powerful arms in the rotation, but when it comes to running the bases well and playing good defense and doing all the little things, they suck at it. And
Yeah.
it's in the regular in a 162 game sample, you can get away with that stuff because you're just so talented. You can just overcome that. In a 5 game series and a 7 game series against other super talented teams, those things tend to crop up. And it's one of those things. Seattle is not great at the little things. So it is something that I do have some concerns about. But yeah, the Yankees are just a horribly, horribly unfundamentally sound baseball team. And that was exposed again in the playoffs. How about that?
Yeah. Full circle. Last thing before I let you go, because I know you got to get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about retention. We were talking about who we'd let go. Maybe there's money for signing 2, but not a third. But let's drop in a world where we can have 3.
Okay.
We're not bringing back Gino. Munetaka Murakami. Is that how you say it? Munetaka Murakami.
Murakami, yeah.
Murakami, yeah. So Munetaka Murakami. I haven't practiced that enough, clearly. Posted for 2026. I did a little sneak peek of like looking into his stats, looking at stuff. I saw some of your comments on it, and I completely understand where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
But why or why not should the Mariners grab this guy?
Yeah. You guys don't know. I think 25, 26 years old. He has been one of the biggest sluggers in the Japanese league, for a while now. He is left-handed hitter. He plays third base. He plays first base. I'm using that term very generously. He stands there. But power is the calling card. And I think he had one year where he hit 58 home runs. I could be wrong.
56 in
There you
2022.
go. And then he had in 2023, he was off to a great start, and then he kind of collapsed. So, like the power is there. Like it is double plus raw power. It is, 40 home run power, no question. But he really only had that power for about a year and a half. He was injured this year. My biggest concern with Murakami is twofold. One, he struck out a ton in Japan, and those numbers don't tend to go down when you jump to the big leagues. It's just a harder league. It's no disrespect to the Japanese league. Obviously, they produce some amazing players, including probably the greatest player who ever lived. So it's not a shot at them, but it's different. The stuff here is just better. Everybody's deeper. And if you strike out 180 times in Japan in 140 games, you come over to America and you you face this quality of pitching, you're probably going to strike out 230 times, in a season. And so how valuable is the power if you can't make contact to get to it? The other problem is that he's kind of a butcher, both at third base and at first base. So you might be paying for a DH only,
Mm-hmm.
but if you think you can make a tweak to the swing so that he has more contact without losing a ton of power, he's 26 years old. If you think he can hit 230 with 40 bombs and be your primary DH, you're probably going to get him at well below market value. Uh, it's tantalizing. There's no question about it. I just wonder, how is that swing going to translate? Can he make enough contact for that home run power to even matter? And I'm not going to get anything of value defensively from him. Like, his best spot probably will be first base. Well, I'd rather have Josh Naylor be my first baseman than
Mm.
Murakami. So it's extremely tantalizing. There is a number that I'm in at, but I'm worried Murakami is going to be one of those guys that gets into the $100 million range. And that's just not a guy I'm willing to pay for, because it's just too much risk if I'm the Mariners to spend big money on a guy who I have no idea if he can play professional baseball, well, Major League Baseball. I don't know
Mm.
if he can or not. If I'm going to spend $100 million, wouldn't I rather give that to, you know, uh, I mean, it would take more than this, but wouldn't you rather give that to like Alex Bregman? Like, you want a guy who can play Major League Baseball, and Murakami, I don't know if he can. Maybe I'm way overestimating the posting fee and what the bid will be. And if that's the case, then I'm open to it. But I think once you start getting into I don't think I would want to risk more than $8 to $10 million a year on this guy, and I think he's probably going to. I think he's probably going to cost more than that, but we'll see. He's certainly tantalizing. I absolutely get it. It's just the swing and miss is a very real thing, and it has me concerned.
Yeah, it's sorry, my dogs are being annoying, probably hearing in the background. Yeah, he's I don't think he's going to be marketed as a third base or a first base.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a DH, and I think that's just the smart route, which is going to devalue him because
Mm-hmm.
his defensive metrics are terrible. So from 2020 to 2022, he posted a 79% in zone contact rate, and kept his whiff rate down below 30%,
Mm-hmm.
which was like slightly worse than league average, but pretty typical for MPB.
Yeah.
Just for reference.
Yeah,
Um,
it's fine.
yeah, and then yeah, it is. But from 2023 to 2024, his end zone contact dropped to 74%, and his whiff rate went all the way up to 36%. Whiff rate being 36% is bad. Like that was the yeah, he was last. He was ranked last in qualified MPB hitters. Like the worst when it comes
Yeah.
to like his whiff rate, and then his walk rate, which was awesome, 17% is really good. Went all the way down to 8%, which is kind of what we already have,
Yeah.
you know, as far as like currently. And if you're trying to better your team, it doesn't help to stay in the same metrics as far as that goes. But
Yeah.
I mean, so after rehabbing this year, which he came back, I believe, at like the end of July or
Yeah.
something like that. They put him back at third base, but I also want to like put a little note in here. He played for the Swallows, which nothing against the name there, but they were last place this year. So keep that in mind. His first at bat, he hit a home run.
Yeah. Of course you did.
So cool. But I mean, since then, he played every game, but he racked up 9 home runs and slugged 644. Um, that's only 23 games though.
Right.
So I guess like what people are looking at as far as metrics is what the projection would have been if this was in the beginning of the year,
Right.
which they said projected to be a 56 home run pace, um, and which would have been third in the MPB, and he would have had a 180 OPS plus.
Yeah.
That's awesome for the
Mm-hmm.
plate, but um, if we were to really think about this defensively to replace Gino, like what are we ranking Gino at defensively? He did save the game yesterday. I'll give him that.
Sure. I would say he's slightly below average at third. He's not terrible, but the range
Okay.
isn't great. So I would say average to slightly below average and trending down.
Okay. So this would be a huge.
Yeah.
We're going to say it's 5 years down the road for Geno defensively, because defensively, Murakami was drafted as a catcher.
Yeah.
He's worth negative 48 defensive runs saved at third base. That's There's no reason anybody would be like, that's our defensive guy.
Yeah.
Like, this is the reason why I think it has to be DH, which makes him reasonable. But then the question is, okay, so are you signing him if we were to choose three, move Polo back over to third, which I don't know if he liked too much, and then have Cole Young be second, which at the end of the season was
it's tough. Yeah.
a little shaky as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But the big boy can run. And it would be funny to have him on the team because him and Naylor would be the biggest guys stealing bags.
Yeah.
He stole 55 bags in 86 attempts.
Yeah. Like I get it. It's tantalizing. Like it's easy to dream on guys like this. It's honestly the profile. It sounds to me a lot like Lazaro Montez, who Mariners fans are in love with, and they refuse to trade away for like all-star quality players, which is bananas, but whatever. So like I get it, man. I really do. I look at the swing and the miss. I look at a swing that looks like it's a groove swing. Like you have to throw a pitch in one specific part of the plate for this guy to, do damage. And it's not going to take long for major league teams to be like, oh, I just won't throw him a pitch there. And you've got a nothing asset. You've got a guy who's basically Geno Suarez when you watch him hit at T-Mobile Park. Ton of strikeouts, maybe occasionally runs into a home run, but he's going to hurt you defensively. And it's just, I think that's going to end up costing way too much money. But again, at the right price, I'm certainly interested. I just don't see a way where where the Mariners get to that point where or where Murakami's market gets to the point where I'm like, okay, yeah, that's fine. I like that gamble.
What would be your high high AAV for him, like that you'd find acceptable? 12.
Yeah, I was going to say 10.
Okay, you want to go to 12?
If the Mariners really believe in him and they think they can help him, then I'm not going to doubt them when it comes to player acquisition. They're pretty good track record of that, although not really with bats, but whatever. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. So like 12, so long as that, like if that $2 million isn't going to prevent me from going out and getting like a seventh inning guy, fine. But 12 I could live with. 10 would be like my comfort zone, and anything less than that, I'm absolutely interested in taking a shot on the guy. Because
the Phillies are going to be all over.
Yes,
because if they're losing Schwarber, they're going to want a DH, and that's their guy.
Yeah, I think the
Phillies, that's if they don't bring him back. But
right.
I don't know if they want to lose Schwarber.
Yeah, I think the Phillies. I think Texas is a team to watch here. Texas has an opening at first base, so he makes a lot of sense there. But we'll see. Again, like at a certain point, yes, but I think anything over 10, I get queasy. Anything over 12 to 15, I just think that costs you Jorge Polanco, and it's just I'd much rather have Polanco
especially
than
now. Yeah. He's settled in finally. He's starting to look like his Minnesota self.
Mm-hmm.
Last thing, I know they said that would be the last topic, but last thing I wanted to hit on, because you mentioned like Lazaro Montez going somewhere we don't want to like lose him for all-star talent. You say it's crazy, but I also see the trauma from Mariners organization and the fans of letting go prospects. Look what happened with our greatest prospects over the years that have gone somewhere else and become superstars.
Sure.
Ketel Marte.
Mm-hmm. When's the last
Adam Jones.
When's the last time that happened?
No, Ketel Marte.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
So
but look what he is now still.
Okay, but you also got, Mitch Haniger for 5 or 6 years out of that, and you got
Tyler O'Neill.
You got Gene Segura. Yeah, O'Neill's been fine, but Marco Gonzalez is pretty good. Like the Mariners haven't traded prospects away. They just haven't done it. Like Gabriel Gonzalez, you miss him right now? No. Do you miss Noelvi Marte? Not really. No. I mean, you don't miss Williamson.
If he didn't pop PEDs, I would be.
maybe, but you'd probably rather have Castillo.
Yeah, yeah.
So especially with what Castillo's done in his playoff appearances for you. So
Well,
uh,
right now, I don't want to change anything. Obviously, like I'm
yeah.
happy right
Well,
now,
that's the
but
point,
like
though,
if
is that
you,
like you have to trust these guys to have foresight to
yeah,
look ahead and be like, look, do we want to trade Las Montez? No. Are we okay trading him if we get a year and a half of this number two starter, or if we get a year and a half of this all star second baseman? You shouldn't be, because you want to win. Like, you want to win at the major league level. Ultimately, says you don't care about the Modesto Nuts. You don't care about the Arkansas Travelers. You care about the Seattle Mariners. And
hmm
if the Mariners aren't going to spend money in free agency, which they absolutely should,
hmm
let me be very clear about that. They absolutely should be spending more in free agency. But if you're not going to do that, then you have to trade. You have to make trades. And this is why, having this system that continually picks up players and makes them better and, develops these guys. That's why the draft is so important. That's why international free agency is so important. So you can trade a Las Montes and be like, it's not that big of a deal. I've already replaced him with Johnny Farmello or whatever it is, So I think you got to trust these guys. They had a lot of hiccups early. Don't get me wrong, but it's been 10 years since they've made a legitimately bad prospect trade. Not that they haven't made bad trades, but like, they haven't traded away a prospect for nothing in return, where you're
yeah.
like, oh man, that sucks. We got, like, they traded Abraham Toro for, along with Jesse Winker, for Colton Wong. Do you miss either of those guys right now? No. I mean, so it's just one of those things. Like, I think you have to trust them on
I,
the trade market.
I
Um,
don't miss Colton Wong though.
no, that trade didn't work out for anybody, but
No, no, it didn't go either
yeah,
way.
it's just one of those things. I think you have to trust them, and I think this winter the Mariners should be aggressive with their prospects. Harry Ford, Las Montes, Michael Arroyo. I think all these guys could be on the move, and it'll be a fascinating offseason, because they are going to have major holes that they have to fill at second base, at first base, and at third base. And maybe they retain some of these guys, but what if they don't? They're going to have to go out and make trades, or they're going to have to trust the young guys to come in and fill those shoes. So it is really a interesting off season, but I'm hoping we don't have to start having those deep conversations about it for at least another couple weeks. That would be incredible.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't want to dig too deep into it. Like my next question would be like, all right, like what could we get for Laz? Like it would be a second baseman. And like honestly, my minimums are like I don't want a year deal. Like I want a guy that has 2 to 3 years of control.
What
And that's hard.
it is. What if you could get Scooble? 1 year of Scooble.
I don't know, man.
Tell you,
That's
I'll give you Laz and Bryce Miller for 1 year of Scooble. Like, it's go.
I'll give you Laz and Castillo.
Yeah, I don't think the Tigers are going to take that, but like,
Well,
it,
that way you
yeah,
can use that
the
money to
money to,
re-sign him
yeah,
and extend
exactly.
him.
I
Yeah,
get where you're going.
that's
I don't think the Tigers are going to help
yeah.
you out that way, but
No, probably
yeah,
not.
just
But he does have control, and maybe that's something they
yeah,
want to go
it's just
because
one of those
what
things where, like,
isn't Alex Cobb gonna fall off the books? And wasn't he expensive?
I don't know if Alex Cobb is still there. I thought he might have been with Cleveland, but maybe I no,
Oh, I thought he
no, I think he
no, he got
signed. Yeah, like, I think,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, he went to Detroit, and we don't
yeah, I
see
think
him
so.
right now. And I know he was expensive because he was one of the
Yeah,
top Giants.
yeah. So
So
we'll see how it goes, but yeah, I'm hoping the whole, like, what can you get for Harry Ford? Like, I don't know. Ask me like November 15th when we're ready to turn the page after a Mariners
hell yeah,
World Series title. Like, that's what I'm hoping. But
yes.
eventually we will get there, and maybe it happens next week, and that'll be a little bit sad, but it's also fun. It's also fun to talk about stuff like that. So
Oh,
uh,
it's an exciting time.
yeah,
October's the best.
yep,
It's the best month of baseball.
mm-hmm.
So dude, thanks for coming on.
Yep.
If we win, we as in you and I are Mariner fans. So
Mm-hmm.
if we win the ALCS, you owe me a trip over here. We're going to the World Series.
I don't know if I can afford the tickets, but I'll do my best.
We'll figure it out. I don't know. I'll hustle, man. I really do appreciate you coming on. And to everybody else, subscribe. Check us out on Spotify. Go check out Locked On Mariners because they are about to drop a video probably right before this one actually gets uploaded.
Yeah,
And
it dropped
yeah, any other links?
right when we started recording. So
So it's already out. Go check that out.
yeah,
It probably covers a lot of stuff that we already talked about with a little
yep.
bit more extensive because I'm not cutting this up. We're just gonna let everybody talk. Chicago is down 1-2 against Milwaukee in the 5th inning right now as we speak. So
Sounds like a good game. I'm going to go watch it.
I'm going to go watch it too. So, all right, I'll catch all you guys later.